Hi guys, welcome back. So today is my shop, my stash. It's been at least 2.5 weeks. I'm going to open the curtains in a minute, let a bit more light into the room. But yeah, let's go through it and let's see what I want to keep, what I want to declutter. Some of it's project pan, like all this up here is project pan. That isn't. I don't know whether I want to keep that out for another week though. That's the thing. I might do, because I've really been enjoying using it. I've used it twice. So, and then foundations are over there. But I normally go into this bottom drawer first. So let's do that. Oh, that's much better. So, okay. I'm not going in any particular order. Just reaching up for whatever's on top. So we use this Revolution cream bronzer. It's not the best. It is very, it says ultra cream and it is ultra creamy. I feel like it's too warm toned for me. It's got a bit of, oh, looks like there's a hair. Is that on top of the case or inside the cream? If it's inside the cream, I'm going to have to get rid of that because that's a bit gross. So yeah, it's in the shade light. I do feel like it leans a bit orange on me. Let me just look inside. Okay, so yeah, we're going to put that back. I wouldn't repurchase it. I'm going to use it up, and that's that. I want to choose something else for this week. And I thought it'd be decluttering this, but I think it goes really, really well with this blush that's in there. I used it a couple of times. So it's the Moira Signature Ombre Blusher in 01 Sweet Peach. Moving over to this. Yeah, this is really, really nice. I want to work on it probably next year because that bronzer definitely needs to go. And then I want to actually work on the palette because it is getting on the older side. But I also want to work on the Hourglass palette as well. Maybe we could work on them in conjunction with each other. So there's that. Then we've got this Hourglass blush in Dim Infusion. This seems to be cracking. I might actually put this in the That's Expensive project pan to try and get a bit more use out of it for a couple of months. So for now it's going to go back in the collection now. Patrick Tart, I don't feel like I've used it that much. Let's have a look. Yeah, I really like this. I like that you get in the cream and the powder. This one can stay in. Then we've got the Beauty Bay Coral. I thought I'd be decluttering this, but again, I really, really like the way it looked. I mean, it looks bright in the pan, right? But it really isn't. If you're just going very, very lightly or with a fluffy brush, it looks nice. So that one can stay. This highlighter, again, I thought I was decluttering it, but I'm not. It's the XX Revolution in Real Love. So that's what that one looks like. That's staying as well. I'll put that back in the collection. Right, so this Flower Blush Bomb's been in for quite a while now. A couple of rotations, so I'll put that back. I have used it a couple of times. It's in the shade Pinched. I don't think I used the CoverGirl Clean Fresh though, so that will stay in. I used the MAC Beaming Blush. Again, I thought this might be on the chopping block, but I want to keep it for the time being, so let's put that back. The PS Cream Blusher in Peach, not used, so that can stay in. The Benefit Cookie, absolutely love this, and you'll be able to see just how much. Look at that pan. I know you can get through it quite easily because it's a very soft highlighter, so the pan it's not pressed deeply in the pan, but yeah, I'd definitely get another one of these when I run out. MAC Soft and Gentle is Project Pan. Flower Beauty in Sweet Pea. Thought I was going to declutter, but again, I really like the way it looked on my skin, so I'm going to keep that one as well. I'm not just going to declutter for the sake of decluttering. And then after I did the Shop My Stash last time, I put this in, and I've not used it yet, so I'm going to be using that as well. Let's keep that in. I feel like I need to put in a couple more cream blushes if I want to use that, because I mean, I've got another pink one which I'll show you in a second because it's in like a tub, but that's not being used. Maybe I need to put that in here just so I know, you know, what I've got, because I'm not being drawn to it. So let me put everything away. So there's this and then there's this. Let me put those away and we'll move on to the other sections. Okay, so this is just essentials really. So I brought this in since last Shop My Stash, or did I bring it in? Yeah, I think I brought it in when we did last Shop My Stash. So I'm using this just for under the eye area at the moment. Wow. Sometimes I forget and put it all over there. And I'm using this on the rest of the face because I want to get this out of my collection. And then I'll go to the ELF one and then that's it. I won't buy any more for a while and I'll continue to use them because I've got like 5 of these. Well, 4 in backup plus that. Then we've got the Sun-Kissed Skin Hyaluronic Acid Nourishing Under Eye Serum, which is nearly gone. You can see it's just about there where my thumb is. And then, oh, it's not in this drawer, it's in another drawer. So we've got the Juvia's Place Eye Prep Eye Prime. Eye Prime, I use that daily. So these so far are all essentials. Right, so we've got some eyeliners here that can go back. I did use the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencil in, is it I Have a Green? Yeah, I Have a Green. If it wants to focus. So that can go back. Then I use this other green one. I don't know why I had 2 green ones in. What shade is this? I always get mixed up. Oh, why do they have to make the writing so small? Esmeralda. Yeah, so that's what that one looks like. Lip liners there in Project Pan. Sorry, lip liners there in Project Pan. Eye stuff. I think I'll put this back. I do use that as under eye. Well, it is an under eye corrector. So I'll put that back. This, I'm not going to get much more out of. So you can see all the window in. So I'm going to pull another concealer in. I'll leave that in for now. So I might get 1 or 2 uses, but certainly not a full week. This Deck of Scarlet, that's a lip liner. Project Pan eyeliner, which I need to use more. And Project Pan eyeliner, which I need to use more. This doesn't need to really be in there. I might put that back in my drawer. It's the white No Budge cream eyeshadow. I've got one in brown as well, but this shade is, what again? Wispy Cloud. So that's everything from this drawer. Oh, they need to go back, don't they? It's not the tidiest of drawers, but it can't be. I've got too much stuff. And then I've got too much stuff in this. Okay, so right, that's the pink blusher I was telling you about. I'm going to move that and we're going to put it in here. That's the only way I'm going to know to use it. That was the other No Budge cream eyeshadow. I want to keep this in just because it's brown and it's nice to put that on the lash line. That will be what I use under the eyes next, the Essence Hydro Hero. So when I run out of the other thing I've just shown you, I won't buy anything new. I'll use that, and then when I'm like near enough out of this, I'll go out and get another one. Maybe the Sun-Kissed Skin one again because I really do like that. Right, so chopping block, not really a fan. I don't know about this either, so that could be on chopping block. Right, this is done with. I've used it all up, or I've used as much. I mean, there's a little bit left. I can't get it without it scratching my eyebrows, and I don't like that. There wouldn't be enough there anyway for both eyebrows. So I just used the spoolie. So it's in here for the spoolie, basically, because Morag bought me this by W7. I saw these in Home Bargains, but I just thought to myself, yeah, they're very, very inexpensive. They're only 49p, but I hate the brush, you know, so it's a massive inconvenience. I used the Urban Decay, is it Deep End? Yeah, Deep End liner as well, so that can go back. Got this for spots, the odd spot I get, but there's a spoolie here. I'm just wondering if I should, yeah, let's get rid of this as well and put it in my empties. I don't have an empties thing though anymore, do you know, for makeup, so I need to sort that out. I've got this as well. I'm not massively keen on it, Hold You Down Brow Fix, but I will use it up. And then that's it for that drawer. So on to the next. Right, when I say on to the next, normally I don't do eyeshadow palettes, like ignore everything else, but apart from the ones that I pull out. So we got that one and that one. I think I only did 2, but I did use other palettes. Like last week I used the Going Coconuts with other things. Oh yeah, with the Twinkle Tower here. So I'm going to be doing a ranking video very soon. So there's this one I've been using. I wasn't a great fan of the shimmer formula. The matte formula is quite nice in it, which I don't normally even say anything about mattes, because matte eyeshadows to me, it kind of easy come easy go, but the mattes in this palette are quite nice, but the actual shimmers are very rough in texture, and I'm used to working with a lot softer eyeshadows. This, spoiler alert, will be getting decluttered in the spring declutter, so that's that. I could declutter it now, and then we've got these singles, so I'm always going to keep these Colourpop ones in down there. They can go, so sorry, they can go back in the Just My Look palette. These ones can go back in my Pastel Roses. For this week, I might take a break from actually pulling any singles in, because there's 2 palettes that I really want to focus on. One is a self-made palette like this, and then one is the one that I wanted to bring in last week but didn't. So I might just pull all these singles out, put them back in the relative palettes, keep this in here, because I don't need that, that's like a khaki, and then keep hold of these. I don't know though, I need to look at the other palette, because maybe some of these greens would come in handy for it. Okay, definitely these top ones are going back. We'll look at the other palette together. We can put this in. Like I said, I need to do the ranking palette. I'm going to be doing that this week because it's getting out of hand now. I don't know how many palettes are in there. So let me get the palette and let me put these back, and let me get that other palette, and then we'll see what we're pulling. In my little chest of makeup, is it this one? I'm sure it's this sparkly one, isn't it? Yes. Right, let me sort this out and I'll come back. Okay, so just ignore the state of the palette. I'm going to clean this after this video. It's looking a right mess. It's almost looking rusty. It could have been like the oil's leaking out. So I've used all these here. These. I've not used that big one yet. And then I'm to use these. So we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to use. And then I can decide what I want to keep, what I want to declutter. And that probably, they'll go in spring as well. Or I might do a singles eyeshadow declutter. It's such a shame. I've got a bad feeling a lot of them are going to go, but it is what it is, right? Note to self, definitely in future, just get 1 or 2 at a time, rather than a whole bunch and then just really use them. I'm not going to pull any of these out this week. Might be disappointing to some of you, but to me, what I'm going to be using has similar shades to the blues and the purples that are in here anyway, so I don't want to kind of get fed up with the looks that I create. So that's that. So that Anastasia one's going back into my collection. We'll do palettes and then we'll do foundations and base. And normally I do it the other way around, so let's show you what I'm pulling. Right, so one of the palettes is in here. Can you guess what it is yet? I sound like Rolf Harris, I know. Here we go. I've been wanting to use this for ages. It's my dupe of the Yucca palette. I can't wait to do a look with this. This is the Trio Chrome. So beautiful. And even this looks like the palette I'm going to pull from Saints, Angels, Sinners. But I've not used it and I want to get thoughts on it. So I'll be using this. Then do you remember last rotation I spoke about the Air Baby palette? I want to use this as well. I just want to test it out. So that's what I meant. We could possibly keep some of them greens in and then just use other palettes as and when. I'll still keep the neutral shades in there as well. Right, hang on. Right, so at the moment that's how it's looking, so we're going to keep that. I'm hoping it will go in the drawer. Should do, because this palette's very, very tiny. It's only a mini palette, sorry, wrong way around. So they're the only two palettes. I mean, this is classed as a third really, isn't it? But they're the only two palettes I want to work with this week. I mean, if I'm using each of these eyeshadows by themselves, but I could use Witty and Intellectual together, and Intellectual would even go with Adventurous, and these two would go together, Truthful and Spacey. So I don't necessarily have to do 6 looks, but if I do, it could lead to another 2 weeks again, and that's fine. I'll see how I get along. So let's try and fit these in. Right, I need to do the ranking video today, and then they will fit in, because this is ridiculous. We're getting there, guys. Right, but I'll do the ranking video today if I can. Right, so now it's found it. Oh, actually, no, it's single potted eyeshadows. I need to make sure I pull another one of these out. Or do I want to leave the Charlotte Tilbury one out for a bit longer? That again could go in my That's Expensive project pan, and that's actually due. I'll put them both back for now. I did use them once each. Right, so foundations. I pulled this in as my Shop My Stash foundation. It's new, my mum got me this, so it's the Collection Hydra Serum Foundation in Extra Fair. So yeah, jury's still out on it, to be honest. I've used it a fair amount of times. You guys that have come to my lives have said, oh, it looks really, really pretty on my skin, but my thoughts are still out on it. I'm going to put it back and pull something different, but on this one I used that twice and I absolutely love how it looks on my skin. I used it once for my job interview yesterday and the assessment day I attended, and then once for, what? Oh yeah, Travel Tuesday, because I think this is the foundation I'm going to take when I go travelling for a few days. I don't really need to show you these. I think you know what they are. These are Project Pan foundations. That's Expensive Project Pan. And this is my 24 in 2024 Project Pan foundation. So they always stay. They just live in the back there. It's just all Project Pan, as I said before, apart from this. I want to try those as toppers. Yes, I'm going to keep this in. So if you haven't seen it, if you've not watched any of my lives, I've used this twice as well. It's just so easy. This is going to come with me to the Lake District as well when I go, just because it's so easy and I don't want my mum waiting around for me for hours on end while I do my makeup. This lipstick here is a new one and I'm trying it out so that can stay there. That always stays there just because I want to use it. Didn't really use this, and that's new. So again, another one off my mum. So yeah, I mean, that's part of That's Expensive Project Pan. Didn't really use this. I think I used it once this month, so I need to keep that in. It's going to be in now till Christmas anyway, till the project ends. Then we've got more Project Pans here, some essentials here. Bit of a mess really, but I know where things are, so that's the most important thing as I'm using them. So we're going to go to the base drawer now and pick out some base products. Okay, let's start off with concealer, because I know we need concealer. Right, which one do I want to use? So we've got, part of me thinks we should work oldest to newest. We've got the Makeup Gallery Hide and Chic Super Size. Don't really want to use it, but I feel like I should. So let's just put that there for a second. Then we've got the 17. This is my Holy Grail second skin. It has been open, but it's not that old. And then we've got this one. Oh, it's got hair on it. From Quo Beauty that Francis kindly sent to me. Okay, so we will use this one. Then I've only got 2 left. That's scary, because I mean, one concealer you can get a couple of months out of that, so I probably have like 4 months maybe out of these 2. When I'm down to 1 concealer, I'll go and get that next one everyone raves about. I'm not too sure I'd like it. I've tried it now twice on the back of my hands, and I find it sticky, but it might not be like that when you're actually putting it on your under eyes. So really I should test it out on my under eyes when I've got no makeup on in the store and just see how it feels. What foundation do I want this time, this go around? Feel like I should try a different one. I don't want to take any glass bottles with me when I go away, because I'm going away in 2 weeks. You know, it's not, well, it's less than 2 weeks now. I feel like that is a little bit too dark, but let's try it. It's classic ivory. Let's try it. This one's going back, just because I'm not 100%. I love this, but I'm not 100% sold on it to take with me. I don't need any of the like strobing creams. No, I don't need any of that. This powder needs to go back. So this Hydra setting powder needs to go back. What powder do I want to bring out? I'm almost tempted, right, to do this, but it's not open and I don't want to open it for the sake of opening it. I said last week this one, didn't I? I said last week this one that Lisa sent to me. So let's do that. There's a Rimmel one here that I used for a video that can go back. We're done. Just ignore all this. That's where like one of these were, and it had skin tints in it, but I've just put it all in here, so I needed that for something else. Anyway guys, that's all the base items picked out, so I think I'll put them away first. Ignore these 2 eyeshadows, they're going back. So yeah, let's put these away and then we can go over to cream blushes, bronzers, that kind of thing. Right, so we're planning on doing some cool and warm looks. I definitely need to pull this out. This is new, more accented to me. So it's a 17 Melting Cream blush, and this one is in 010 Pink Passion. So that's that. And I could do the powder to go over the top of that. I'm being drawn to this. I know I've not long used it, but I'm being drawn to it. So that's Dior Rosy Glow 001 Pink. I'll just put that there, and if I can find a different one that I'm more drawn to that I haven't really used that much. This one as well, I've not used that much. Hang on. It's not the same kind of pink though, is it? That's more of a strawberry pink. These ones are really, really good. So we've got the Lumi in Frantic Pink. Then I've got a darker one, don't I? Where's that? Oh, no, it wasn't that one. Where's the Clinique one? Is that darker or not? I can't remember. Rose Dawn. I always get mixed up between them two. I think I'll be pulling that one of them in as well, but I want my Clinique. I've got a bright pink Clinique one. Sorry guys, we will get there. There it is. There she is. This one here, so pretty. In 03 Berry Pop. Don't even think that's the right shade, but I want to pull it in anyway. Now to that. I think I'll just pull those things in. I might pull that in as well, actually. I've gone overboard again with blush, but we like blush over here. Right, so this is all like, well, we've got orange ones here. I'm tempted to pull that in as well, but I don't think that'd go with anything, any of the looks that I'm going to be creating. I really, really love this blush from Aldi that Louise sent to me. Is there any on chopping block? You know, because, I mean, I like my creams, but I don't really wear orange anymore. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking. I mean, this one I've had ages. We could pull this for a couple of warm options. What's this LYS one like at the back? I've never been too sure of that. But that's just like a similar colour to that. That's a bit darker, so no to that then. I don't think so. Are we just pulling that one? I know we've got the Patrick Tar one, but that's not much option, is it? I'm going to pull a couple of orange powder blushes. So let me go over there. Actually, no, I'll do bronzer first, because that's bronzer's in the bottom of this. I don't know what you would call it, like little, I call it like my little suitcase, my makeup treasure trove. But people may call them caddies. What would you call it, guys? Because in different countries, I'm sure it's called different things. Oh, I haven't put those palettes back. So I think next week is going to be my last Shop My Stash until I get back from holiday. That's if I do a Shop My Stash next week. Now, if I don't do a Shop My Stash next week, we'll be doing what I'm taking away with me. We'll be doing a video about that. I'm going to do a video about that anyway. But yeah, let me tell you what bronzer I'm picking. Right, so today I'm going to pick this one just because it's new and I haven't really used it. I've used it one time. So the Give Pick It Up in, that's the lighter shade, and it really is a nice shade on me. So I'm going to be using this. I'm not taking it away with me though. I would be devastated if I left it there. So yeah, alright, that's coming into this week's Shop My Stash. Now let's go over to the warmer tone blushes. Actually, no, I wanted to pick out a palette. These palettes are ones that I want to use, and I wanted to use this sleek one. Let's see if I can get it open. Yeah, it's got a bronzer in it, but we can use that bronzer as well. Highlighter and blush. Do I need all that blush then? Probably not, but we'll keep it as it is for now. So at the moment there's only 2 more palettes for the next 2 weeks, and then we'll put some more palettes in here. I'm just trying to establish, do I need to keep all the palettes I've got in my collection? And then these are all bronzers. There's a few cream bronzers scattered around. Some nude sticks there that I want to be testing out, whether I want to keep or declutter, that my friend sent to me. But yeah, let me go over to powder blushes. Right, what do I want to use? I'm not really leaning towards any of this stuff. Ginger Pop's nice, but I'd like to use, I mean, these aren't really orange, but I'd like to use kind of things that are on the chopping block. That's nice for something a bit different, befitting. I think that would go really, really well though with the blush Louise sent me. They both would. Now let's pull this. I'm not feeling any of it really, I've got to be honest. This is why I feel like I could probably declutter most of this. I'd never declutter that. That was the first animated film I ever watched. So yeah, it's got memories for me from that aspect, and also memories because my mum loves elephants. So yes, there is that. Then there's just lipsticks here, Pat McGrath Labs palettes there. Boy, like bougie lipsticks here. Well, they're P. Louise at the back there. And then that's a Shop Miss A one. We've got Juvia's Place. They're all basically lipsticks I'm testing out. So, I think that's done it. Let's go over and do some highlighters. Can't forget the highlight. I'm forgetting the highlight because it's not in that little caddy I've got. Right. And I don't know what I want to do, to be honest. Let's try this. I don't think I've tried it. Or have I? Let's try it again. Kind of project pan. I know I like those shifty ones. This one as well. Alright, maybe let's just pull those two in. Because I don't think I'm going to have much room after the blusher. Maybe pull one of these in as well, actually. Lunch Money. Yeah, Lunch Money. And that's it, guys. So, yeah, again, there's more like palettes over here that will be getting once I've used all the face palettes, because I can only fit so many face palettes in that bronzer drawer. Then we'll be bringing some of these in, because I just don't feel like I need everything in here. There's just too much going on. Anyway, guys, let's go over and do some swatches, and that will conclude the video. Right, shall we start off with the pinks? So I'm going to start off with that pink melting cream blush and show you that. I'm sure it's a cream to powder formula. I've swatched it before and I'm sure it felt like that. Let me show you. Yeah, that does not look like a cream, but it goes on like a cream and then kind of dries down into a powder. So I don't even think I need all those pink powders, but we will keep some of them in. I really do feel like I want to keep this in. Let's swatch this next. It's actually more raspberry, like the Benefit one, so I could have pulled the Benefit one in. It certainly doesn't match that pink there, so I probably have to use that on a separate occasion. If it doesn't get used, we'll just keep it in until it does. Then we've got the Dior Rosy Glow. Mine just looks like that. It's a lovely blush, this, but it doesn't swatch well. I feel like that is probably going to be the best blush to wear with that cream blush. They're very, very similar colours. Then we've got the Lumi Radiant Blush. So that's the lightest one. I feel like I like the darkest one better. So that one is called Frantic Pink. The darkest one is called Rose Dawn. So let's check on this. Yeah, I do like the darkest one a little bit more. I don't know whether to keep that one in as well. I can't be bothered, like, because my case is underneath my vanity, I can't be bothered putting it back. So if it fits in, I'll keep that one in as well. So then we've got the Max Factor in Seductive Pink. Let's swatch this. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm not decluttering that, even on the arm. I'm just not decluttering it. The dupes as well, these, for Hourglass blushes. So if you've been wanting to try the Hourglass, I would recommend these, because these are a fraction of the price. If you can still get them, and you'd get them even cheaper on eBay, because they're quite old. But yeah, I've had quite a few of these. This is in, like I said, Seductive Pink. Made in Canada too. Right, and then we're going over to the oranges, and then we've got palettes. So we've got the Sleek palette and also the Good Beauty palette. So this Tower 28 is on the older side. It's their Beach Please in the shade Golden Hour. It's very, very bright. I just don't think it's me anymore, and I've not even used it that much, and it wasn't the cheapest. Then I've brought this Colourpop out. I don't even know if it's going to match it, but let's see. It's almost like a nice terracotta shade. If I'm going to be wearing this, I'm not wearing bronzer. It's going to be in place of a bronzer. It will still be applied like blush, but it's not going to be, you know, blush bronzer and then this. I don't think anyway. Let's swatch this. Right, it's not exactly the same shade, but they're all the blushes. I'm going to try and get them all in here. I might not be able to get them all in. What I can't get in, we'll just have to pull out for another week, a different time. Highlight. I really don't know why I'm swatching things, because you've recently seen me swatch them if you've watched my highlighter collection, but I'll do it again. Not too sure on the Becca. So this one is in the shade Moonstone. Let's swatch this. Right, so it's like a white gold, I would say. I really wish I hadn't bought that, to be honest, but I bought it not when it was all the rage. I saw it in TK Maxx for a fraction of the price, and I'm like, oh, Becca. You know how it goes if you're a fan of Becca, or was a fan of Becca at the time. Anyway, I'm going to be trying this on, and we'll see how I go with it. This technique, gorgeous. I do like it, but it's not beaming. It's got zero glitter in it. It's just a really nice smooth highlighter. It's good for mature skin like mine. I'm getting older. I'm not getting any younger, so it's probably good for that. It would probably make a really good work highlighter. So that is what I want to try. I'm considering I'm going for interviews now. I know I've only had one interview, but they say when you've had one, people want to interview you even more. So let's hope that's the case if I don't get the job I went for yesterday. Let me swatch it for you. So that's what it looks like. Can you see? Zero, no glitter. It doesn't seep into your pores or anything like that. I like it, or I used to, so I need to check that. And then we've got the Pull Pop Colour Pop Super Shock in Lunch Money, and this is nearly all done, so I want to use this as well. And that's that one there. So they're all different tones. That one is a little bit like the Technique one. So they're the three highlighters I've chosen, but I am getting a highlighter in the Sleek palette as well. So we've got 4 highlighters for the week, or 2 weeks. That's more than enough. Now we're going to go and do some swatches on the Sleek makeup palette. I think they still do this. If they don't do this, they certainly do the individual. You can buy it all individually. So it's a face form, contouring and blush palette in light. And what I could have done thinking about it is left the Revolution cream blush in and just use these, and then chose the Give Beauty for the following week. But we'll use it by itself, hopefully get at least a couple of uses. This blush here reminds me of Nars Orgasm, so I'm going to swatch everything for you now. And that's all of the products from there. Isn't that blush pretty? That bronzer just glides on, and the highlighter I love as well, so I'm hoping to get good use out of this. This would make a good travel palette as well. Then we're going to go in with the Give Beauty Pick It Up Cream Contour and Powder Bronzer Duo. Now, I don't see it as a contour at all, but I might be in the minority. So it's called Heating Up. Let's take her out of her packaging. I don't think I'm going to be able to keep it in this anyway. I just prefer to, really, if I can. Let's see. It's just the packaging, it's beautiful, and I don't want to have scratches all over it. So yeah, that's what that looks like. Again, same. So let me open it up and do some swatches. So you'll be able to see it has been used. Like I said, I used it one time. It looks like it's got a... No, I thought it had a hair from a brush in it. It doesn't. This part is very, very light. But it's like my friend Lisa said, it's probably to set this part. So let's do the swatches on these two, and then we're done really, guys. What I will say about that is it smells delicious. All of their products smell really, really nice. I mean, I've not tried too many, but the lipsticks smell nice. This smells nice. I'd like to try more from the brand. So, cream bronzer and powder bronzer. So I'm looking forward to trying that this week or this next couple of weeks. So that's everything there on that arm, and I'm just hoping that's going to fit in. I'm going to try it with the box first of all, but then no, I won't do that, because it's just going to be a case of like getting it out of the box, putting it back in the box, and you get fed up, don't you? So let's see. Yeah, no, dear me. didn't want to do this again. Last week he had a right nightmare of products. Plus there's a couple of palettes in there, but no room for them anywhere else. Right, and then there's this. This is a big product as well. Yeah, I'm gonna struggle, aren't I? Let me see if I can take anything out and bring it back in for another week. Hang on. Okay, I figured it out. So that opens quite easily. I put my MAC Soft and Gentle here. This is Project Pandora anyway, so everything fits nice. I don't know if I'm going to get to use everything, but I'll try. Like I said, it could be 2.5 weeks. If it is, you will see, well, you'll see a video on what I was taking on holiday with me anyway. That could be different products from what's in here. Well, it's going to be, actually, sorry. It's going to be different products from what you see in here, because I've already got it in my mind what I want to take. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, share and comment, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.